This is the tutorial for this stay-at-home total body workout, no equipment required. If this is your first time training with me, hello, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. So for those of you who are returning, this workout is going to be different to our last two in that we're not timing the entire workout, so we're not pushing for our best time. We are pushing for maximum reps per set. And this workout is interesting in that it adjusts depending on your strength levels and energy levels on the day. So I'll explain why. For every exercise, you're going to be performing 3 sets of the exercise back to back. But how much rest you get between each set depends on how many reps that you get. So for example, our first exercise is the pistol. If you get between 1 to 5 reps in your first set, you're going to rest 2 to 3 minutes before starting your second set. If you get 6 to 10 reps, then you get 60 seconds rest before you need to start your second set. If you get over 11 reps, so 11 plus, then you get 30 seconds rest before you move on to the next set. So I nicknamed this workout Sucker for Punishment because honestly, the harder you push, the harder you make it for yourself, because the more reps that you get, the less rest that you get. But on the flip side, this is good for the days where you're just not getting much reps, or for the exercises that you need to work on strength for, that you're not hustling from set to set. You have enough recovery in between sets so that your form can stay better, you have a bit more energy so that the reps that you are getting are nice, clean reps with good form. So again, no matter what exercise that it is, if you get 1 to 5 reps, you get 2 to 3 minutes of rest. If you get 6 to 10 reps, you get 60 seconds rest before your next set. And if you get 11 plus reps, you get 30 seconds rest before you have to start your next set or move on to the next exercise. So what you will need for this workout is 2 chairs, depending on the exercises that you choose. There are chairless variations, but the harder variations require a chair. Other than that, you're just going to need a mat and maybe some towels to pad your elbows for one of the exercises if you're like me and have bony elbows. But otherwise, this is pretty much just your body weight. And have a notepad and a pen so that you can record your reps per set. You can warm up for this workout with 5 to 10 minutes of light movement, such as running on the spot, jumping jacks, jump rope, dancing. You could go for a walk outside, or I will link a total body warm up, a gentle total body warm up that will warm up all of you, including your wrists. If you don't do that warm up, that's fine. Just make sure that you do give your wrists a little stretch before you move on to the workout, because a couple of the exercises are intense on the wrists. So we're going to be moving through the exercises. You're going to perform as many reps as you can on one leg, then try and match that amount of reps on the other leg, and then depending on how many reps that was, you'll find out how much rest you get before moving on and trying it again. The first exercise for the workout are pistols. So this is a very difficult exercise and not everybody can do it. I will talk very briefly about the common mistakes when doing pistols. For people who already follow me, you might be following my pistol prep series. So if you're unable to do the full pistol, I recommend picking the variation that you're on in that drill series and using that instead of the pistol. If you're new and you don't know what the pistol prep series is, don't worry, I'm going to walk through some variations for you. So the pistol. I'd already done this workout. I filmed the demonstration, so my legs are fried. So I'm going to do my best with this tutorial to not be wobbling all over the place. So for the pistol, stand with your feet hips width apart, put all your weight on one leg, and you're going to extend the opposite leg out in front of you. Now for some people, keeping this leg locked is too much. You may just need to keep it bent slightly. That's fine. What's more important is that when you sit back into your pistol, if that's what you're doing, you're sitting back
as opposed to driving your knee forward. Because I see a lot of people driving the knee in their pistols, and then the heel begins to float, and that, does kind of put a bit of uncomfortable pressure on the joint. So leg is out, forward, and you're going to sit back into your hips like there's something behind you that you're sitting down, you're looking for. You're going to drop down and press back up. Now for some people, like I said, extending that leg is going to be too difficult, so you could keep it softly locked. Or if your pressing leg is strong enough, but this is messing with your stability, some people find that it's easier to pistol just holding the leg, squat down, and back up. Any of these variations are acceptable. Just write down which one that you use, and you're going to be doing as many reps as you can. And then whatever you get on this leg, you have to match on the other leg, even if it means taking a little rest in between. So let's just say you get 10 on this leg, and you try to match 10 on this leg, and you get 8, take a breath, get 2 more, and then you get 60 seconds rest before you move on and start again. So variation 2.
Variation 2 works from the bottom of a squat and helping you press out. A lot of people struggle to lower down into the pistol, but they are able to lower into a squat. So we play upon that strength for this variation, for this modification, I should say. So feet are slightly wider than hips width apart. Sit down as far as you can into your squat. Shift your weight on one leg, lock it, bend it, or grab it, whichever one works for you. Press back out. Stay on this side. Squat down, shift the weight, press back out. Getting as many reps as you can per round, matching it on the other side, then taking as much rest as you've earned, depending on how many reps that you've got. And the final variation for beginners is with a chair. So have a seat on your chair. If you're taller, this might have you a little bit below parallel, which is actually better. This is a little high, but sitting just about parallel. Knees over the heel. Grab hold of your knee. I wouldn't bother with the extender, but if you want to challenge yourself, if this is too easy for you, you can extend your leg, but I recommend beginners just hold that knee, brace the core, and step up, and lower back down. So this will teach you what I was talking about, sitting into your hips for a pistol. You have the option of extending the leg. Showing you on the other side. Hold that knee, brace the core, chest up, press through, woo, and down, up, and down. And if you want to make it harder, and down, up, and down. What you do with your leg, your opposite leg, is not as important, as so long as you are getting that honest sit back into your hips and not driving your knee forward in your pistol, which is a bad habit and not so great for your knees. So pick whichever variation is realistic for you. Do that for 3 sets, rest as needed, and then you move on to the next exercise. The second exercise in your workout is elevated glute bridges, and it is a hybrid between the tabletop exercise and the elevated glute bridge. Originally, I just wanted to put in the elevated glute bridge, to be honest, but that needs to be done between 2 chairs, and it's a really, really challenging exercise for your glutes, but I'll just show you what'll happen.
So for the elevated glute bridge, you go between 2 chairs, shoulders are on one, hips are on the other, and you're meant to press up, but look what's happening. If you can't, if you are at home and you are able to sturdy both chairs and you want to do that variation, you can. Or you can join me in this hybrid that I put together to compensate, which will also be a great challenge on your upper body. So I think it's just like the tabletop position, except you're doing it on one leg and with one leg up. So you're sitting on the ground, fingertips face out to the side. This is most comfortable for most people, but if you feel better with your fingers forward or backward, that's fine. What you want to make sure is that your chest is open. So wherever you put your hands, roll your shoulders back, pull the shoulder blades together so the chest is nice and open. One foot up, heel off, keep that chest open as you press through this heel and squeeze up the top. So I just accentuated that squeeze. This is what your reps will look like. 1, light touch on the ground. 2, you're trying to keep your chest open. 3, 4, so you're still getting a really good glute and even hamstring challenge like you would with the normal elevated glute bridge, but you're also bringing those shoulders and triceps into this. So you're doing as many reps as you can on one leg and then switching to the other side. So this may be too much on your wrist, this may just feel too awkward. So if that's the case, let's put you down on the ground for just the normal elevated glute bridge. One heel up, press the palms into the floor, pull the belly button in, press through this heel into the chair, up, squeeze, and lightly touch down. Squeeze, lightly touch down, squeeze. So what you don't want is to arch your back, tailbone is tucked, belly button's putting in, you should feel a good squeeze on those glutes. You will feel a little bit of hamstring, particularly if your legs are tired from the exercise before. Just make sure that you're getting a nice glute contraction at the top, tailbone tucked, and that's your modification.
The third exercise in the workout is the static Spider-Man push-up. I'm going to be showing you 3 variations, the hardest, which is the running, intermediate, which is stepping, and beginners, which knees are on the ground. You may want to fold up a towel and rest it underneath your knees for more comfort. If you have an exercise mat, that could be enough, but have a towel nearby just in case.
So as the name suggests, through all variations, we are holding a static push-up. So for the hardest variation, hands are slightly wider than shoulder width apart. Come on the toes, tuck the tailbone, squeeze the core, lean the chest through the hands, hold. And from here, you are running the Spider-Man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for this exercise, 1 foot in each is 1 rep. So it's not 1, 2, 3, it's 1, 2, 3. So if you get more than 11, you only get 30 seconds rest. But push yourself. It's very, very important that you're pushing yourself as hard as you can in the workout to create the most challenging workout and to create the most challenging number so that the next time you come around, you're really pushing yourself to improve. So that's the hardest variation. Variation number 2 is all the same. So in that push-up position, wrists under shoulders, slightly wider than shoulder width apart. Squeeze the abs, lower the chest through, and step it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again. 1, 2. I keep messing up the counting throughout the tutorial, guys. Sorry. I'm going to try not to do that to you. I'll make sure that I specify in the write it below what counts as 1 rep. So let's move on, the beginner's variation. So let's start it off. The easiest way to get into a kneeling push-up, because a lot of times people make a mistake in kneeling push-ups and have their knees right under their hips. But what you actually want, so start in your plank position or push-up position, put your knees down. So now you have this nice line. a straight line from your knees through your shoulders, which will allow you to lower your chest through the hands, hold, and step. 1, 2, 3, 4. This variation is hard. It is the beginner variation, but it's hard. So do your best. Even if you get 2, that's a lot because this is challenging. And as you're stepping forward, you're putting more pressure into those arms, so you're creating more resistance by stepping the legs in. This is really tough. Do your best. Put something underneath your knees if your mat is thin and that hurts, but it's a very challenging exercise that will build up strength and endurance in your arms. So just do your best. Write down your reps, and it doesn't matter what those numbers are. If you pushed yourself and did as much as you could, those are the best possible numbers, and that's excellent. And next time around, let's see if we can get 1 more.
Training your back from home without equipment is one of the more difficult things to do because it's a little bit harder to isolate the lats without dumbbells, without rowing motions or the pull-up. However, this variation is basically simulating the top of a row using 2 chairs. So I'm lucky in that my chair has a little bit of cushioning. You may not have that, so if you're like me with bony elbows, make sure that you roll up a couple towels, lay a couple towels, so pad your elbows so that it's comfortable on your forearms. You don't want to be stopping the exercise because your elbows hurt. You want to stop the exercise because your back gives out. So in the good way, your lats give out. So once you have sufficiently padded your chair, let's move on to the exercise.
So as I said, this is basically like the top of a row. So you are holding this position, putting pressure through your forearms against the chair to have the chest open, squeezing the shoulder blades back. So get between your chair. The chair distance is just enough for my body. All the way here, my forearms are on the chair. And we can start, the easiest way to get into position is starting at tabletop. So press the forearms down, get the chest through, tuck the tailbone, squeeze, hold this position, straighten the legs and go. 1, 2, 3, 4. But for the workout, we're doing 1, 1, 2, 2. You're holding this for as long as you can. You're squeezing those shoulder blades together, pressing those forearms down. Woo, keeping the chest open, getting as many reps as you can. The beginner variation is from the floor, an intermediate variation. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everything is the same. So you're squeezing your shoulder blades together, pressing those forearms are holding. It's a nice burn on the lats. It's a little bit, it looks a bit awkward, but once you're familiar with the rowing motion, you should be able to get into this pretty comfortably. So for the beginner's variation, just going to lay down on the mat. Tuck your shoulder blades under. Chest is open. Imagine you're in a pull-up position. Push-up position. So your starting point where your hands are slightly wider than shoulder width apart. Imagine you're about to do a push-up. Press the forearms against the ground. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and lift the chest up and hold. Squeeze the arms and lift. 1, 2, 3. I keep messing up and counting the reps wrong, but 1.
And the final exercise is your pike press shoulder taps. So you will be needing chairs. I recommend 2 chairs for the advanced variation, and then you won't need any chairs if you're doing the beginner variation. So a mistake that I made in my workout is that I propped my chairs up against my couch and it's squishy. So every time that I would sort of shift weight, it would bounce off of my couch and shift me. So that made it a lot harder for me to stay in the pike position. So even though I'm going to be demonstrating for you right now with these chairs floating, I absolutely recommend pushing your chairs up against a wall. Why I recommend 2 chairs is that it allows you to put your feet in a wider position, which makes it a little bit easier. If you don't have 2 chairs, 1 will work. Just know it'll make it a little bit harder, which is not a problem. Or maybe, you know, maybe you're at your mom's place and she'll shoot you if you put your feet on her chair, and you might just need to stick with your feet on the ground, which is fine. They're all quite challenging. And at the end of that workout, your arms are going to be pretty tired anyways, so this might have been easier for you in other circumstances, but it may present more of a challenge today. So let's move along. Let me show you the exercise.
So as the name suggests, you have to be in a pike position for this. So your hands are shoulder width apart, spread your fingers, put your feet up on the chairs, and push your hips up so that your hips are over your shoulders and your shoulders are over your hands. So you're trying to create a straight line. Bring your hands through your hips. You don't need your legs straight. You can bend your legs. The most important thing is where your hips are. Now lock your arms. Press through the arms. Don't bend them as you shift your weight on one hand and touch the opposite shoulder. That's 1, 2, 3. So what sometimes ends up happening is as you do this, you end up walking forward, and that's cheating. So make sure that you keep yourself underneath those hips, pressing through the arms. Don't keep the arms soft. Lock the arms. Whew. This is tough. That's really tough.
Particularly if you're focusing on keeping those arms locked and reaching through the arm as you press. That's another important cue.
I needed a break. So when you put your weight on your hand, you're not shrugging in. You're pressing out of that arm, strong out of the shoulder, pushing out of that arm as you touch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whew.
Gonna burn those shoulders, just gonna strengthen those arms. It's a great upper body challenge. It honestly feels like cardio after that workout. So let's do the variation from the floor. So anybody who does yoga will be familiar with the starting position. It is downward facing dog, but it is also the pike position for the pike press, which if you stick with me, you're going to be using a lot more, so it's good to get familiar with the position.
So, hands shoulder width apart, turn your toes under, push your hips away, and you're doing your best to get a straight line again from your hands through your hips. You can bend your legs, you don't have to keep your legs straight. A slight bend often helps people get into this straight line position. For some people, their shoulder mobility may have them rounded out here. That's something you may have to work on over time, but that's okay. If this is where you are, that's where you are. But do your best to push your chest through the arms. Push your head through the arms. Kind of want your ears to line up with your bicep. And same thing like with on the chair. Lock those arms. Press strongly through the arms as you reach. And tap the shoulders. So you're not sagging in, don't bend them, don't keep them softly locked. Push through, you're pushing away. Whew. And 1 tap is 1 rep. So these add up fast towards reducing your rest time, but it's a burnout for the end of your workout. Ending strong.
Ending with a nice shoulder pump. And now I'm going to move on to show you my score, my reps for the workout, and break it down one more time and how the fluctuating rest works. But this is the tutorial, and hope you enjoy the workout. Here are my reps. So I wrote this over so you guys could actually read what I wrote down. It's pretty bad. Here's an explanation of what you're seeing. So I did the advanced variation for every exercise, and so pistols. First set I got 15 reps on my left leg, which meant I had to get 15 reps on my right leg. And because that was more than 11 reps, that gave me 30 seconds rest before going into my second set, where I got 12 on the left, which meant I had to push for 12 on the right. Again, more than 11, so 30 seconds rest before going into my third set. And here I only got 10 reps, which means I got 60 seconds rest before moving on to the elevated glute bridges. So that's how this works. Let's just say I only got 5 reps on this set. That would mean I get 2 to 3 minutes rest before moving into my second set. And that's how this works. So don't feel badly if your numbers are lower than mine. If you are hitting lower numbers in your sets, that just means that this is an area that you need to build up strength for. And that's why we give you a little bit more rest, so that you can recover and have more energy to go into your next set, so that the few reps that you're getting are with really good form. And that's something to keep in mind too, is don't push for more reps if it means that you're sacrificing your form. It's a lot better to just get 1 rep with really nice form than more reps with not so good form. And that's how you'll get stronger. So you know what, it's fine if you got 1, 1, 1, because then next time around we're going to try and get 2, 1, 1, and that's an improvement, and that's how we get stronger, 1 rep at a time. So for me, little tips from my workouts you could learn from my mistake. I did not properly secure my chair for my pike press shoulder taps. So my chair was wobbling, so I was wasting a lot of energy trying to keep my pike position and not fall over. So I definitely can improve upon these numbers. For my forearm push down knee lifts, I didn't write down my numbers for this first set. I was so tired. So I was like, I'm just going to sit here and I'll write it down after my second set. So I did my second set, and I couldn't really remember what my first set was. So I think it was this. But then I got a higher number the second time around. So it's either I didn't remember this number correctly or I didn't push myself hard enough in this set. So either way, next time around, I'm going to try and get higher than this number in my first set. And oh yeah, if you're wondering why they have like 15.5, that's because for these exercises, left knee and right knee in is 1 rep. So in all of these sets, I only managed to get 1 knee up before I cranked out. So these are my numbers to improve upon next time around. And that's what you need to do, is just push yourself as hard as you can with honest reps and write those numbers down. And next time around, and just try and get a little bit better. And that's how we grow. That's how we get stronger. And that's how this works. So if you joined in, thank you so much. I would love to hear if you have any questions or any feedback or requests. Let me know. Thank you so much for joining in, and all I can say is good luck, because I can just tell you honestly that by this set, I actually thought I might throw up. I had to push through some nausea for the rest of this workout, which was kind of hilarious, but it was a good challenge. So I hope you enjoy it too, and thanks so much for watching.